everyone. My name is Sheena. This is Josh, and welcome to I Want to Homeschool Too. Today, we are going to be discussing screen time and what we've actually done with our daughter regarding screen time. During the time when Annabella was first born, I was in survival mode, just trying to, make sure that she ate and I got sleep. And my husband did the wonderful thing of reading to her every day and doing all the extra stuff, doing a bunch of research. And we came together and agreed on several things, including screen time. So, anyways.
So what I discovered about screen time is when they're very young, it could actually create a temporary autism. And that is something that we're not interested in, obviously, creating for our daughter.
Yeah. And it's not that every kid, every child gets this autism, but it's something where when they're developing so quickly, especially in those first few years, if it's all on from the screen, it affects the way that their mind processes things. And so it's a social autism, I believe is what the definition was of that, correct?
I think so.
Yeah. So the first year we did no screen time at all. We made sure not to do any at all. And then for Christmas, we actually introduced her to The Grinch, which is still her very favorite movie. We only watched The Grinch once every few days. Again, we kind of tried to steer away from screen time as much as possible. And then I had a friend, probably in the last few months. It's probably when we introduced Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
So I had a friend a few months ago. She told me about Miss Rachel, and we were like, oh, we don't really watch a whole lot of TV. And she said it's basically having a preschool teacher in your living room. And so we were kind of not skeptical, but we were just like, well, we don't want to get her addicted to TV. We see a ton of kids and teens just glued to their phones, as I'm sure all of you have. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, actually, you're probably wanting to prevent that from happening to your kids. So this is kind of what we did.
And I did my research on Miss Rachel and what she was about. And it's basically she had a need to find content that helped children speak better and faster because her child was struggling and she couldn't find content on that. Mm-hmm. And though we still limit the screen time, we decided that Ms. Rachel was probably of good, valuable screen time, and it's actually helped our daughter out a lot.
Yeah. So something that we noticed in her right away, she loves all the songs and the whole hour, because we usually choose like the hour episodes, and it's become kind of part of our morning routine. So we wake up, we make sure that we're able to get coffee and be awake when she gets up. But we put it on for her, and she gets very excited about it. But she loves all the songs. And so it started with the songs, and then it kind of taught me how to help her. So there's this song called Baby Put Your Pants On, and it's about getting dressed. And I sing it to her, and we put her pants on. And when she gets dressed or after I change a diaper, and she's totally fine because she knows exactly what to expect. Or the brush your teeth song. She loves getting her teeth brushed because of Miss Rachel. And then what are some other things that you've noticed?
Well, I noticed that she's not quite 2 yet.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that Ms. Rachel does is the alphabet song when she says, the song with A is the letter and A is the sound.
A is the letter, A is the sound that it makes, and then does that for every single letter.
And it gets in your head. I mean, I find myself at work singing these songs, but that one in particular has been very good for Annabella because now when we say, oh, what is this letter? And she'll say C. And then we'll say, what sound does it make? And she'll go, K.
Yes. Yeah.
And these are things that, we have also instilled in her through flashcards and reading to her constantly and all this kind of stuff. But I do believe that Miss Rachel is definitely helped move that along. Yes. So I don't think Ms. Rachel is the end-all, be-all, but it is an excellent tool.
Yes, absolutely. So at first, of course, we were like, no, screen time's bad, but we've kind of come to realize that it's not all bad. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to screen time as long as you limit it and then also reinforce it. And we also don't just sit her in front of the TV for an hour. We still interact with her. We still join in on some of the songs with her. But we've reinforced a lot of the stuff that Miss Rachel has been teaching, and she's not like we said, she's not even 2 yet, but she knows all her letters and sounds. She knows her shapes. She knows her colors. She's starting to even recognize numbers, which I didn't even know. She knows animals. Oh, animals and the sounds that they make.
Yeah.
She knew horse. I didn't know she knew that until today. But
And this is what works for us.
yes, yes,
Anything you Google online, it's basically, oh, well, some kids are like this, some kids are like
yes,
this, some kids are like this, and this is what works for us, and it has been working very well. But our daughter is too, and she's, I think she's developing at a great pace.
yeah,
I don't know if she's ahead of the game, behind the game. I'm not sure,
yeah.
but for what we're comfortable with, we're happy with the way that she's developing.
Yes.
And we think that Ms. Rachel is contributing to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like if you're watching this, you're looking for different ideas, what different parents do. And something that she loves her books. We introduced her to books the day we got her home from the hospital. Josh
Shoot.
was reading to her from day one. And we've just continued that every single day. And it's kind of funny because now we have a bookcase in the living room that's full of books for her to she can access anytime she wants. She has a bookcase in her room that's the paper books, and so we supervise that. And then she has potty books. So there's these little books, and when we were trying to change her diaper, instead of her like trying to grab the diaper or touch the poo or whatever, we started giving her these little books, and so she's reading these books while we change her diaper. And then she has car books. So when we're in the car, she has a set of books for the car. And it's been wonderful to see how much she enjoys them and how much she's learned from them just from reading the books. And she points at the pictures and tells us what they are. And it's really, really neat to see just how young she is, but how interested in reading in books that she is right now.
Yeah, she'll come up to us and just hand us a book, and and now we're developing her into saying, oh, help me and please, and these things, and using her words. But she loves listening to the books, and there's so many benefits to reading to your children.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the information that's in the book. It has a lot to do with your tone and inflections, because you speak differently when you're reading than you do when you're talking. And it's very calming for a child to hear your reading voice. And it's different, and it's fun to make characters up, and I play with the characters in the Dr. Seuss books, and it's kind of it's very interactive and fun, and she is just taken to it, and I think a lot of kids do.
Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah. So I mean, again, if you're a lot of so I've been doing a ton of research on homeschooling, as you all know. And one of the things that a lot of parents ask is, how do I start teaching my child to read? When do I start doing that? And really from day one, if and it's never too late to start, but from day one, start reading to your child. Reading aloud has been proven time and time again to be the best for your child. You're giving them your full attention, you're reading to them, and again with the voice inflection like you were saying. So all beneficial, and you're spending quality time with them. They want your attention. That's the biggest thing that your children want from you, is your time. And
absolutely,
reading aloud is educating them and giving them your time and attention. So, yeah. So anything else that we're kind of doing with Annabella that within this first year that we can talk about, even though we've kind of strayed away from screen time a little bit, but, and Miss Rachel. But
I mean, and that's part of it, is finding things to do other than screen time. Like we bought her a little basketball hoop.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
And she just has so much fun with that little basketball hoop, and just getting her into those toys that with the shapes that they put the.
Oh yes.
I don't know exactly what they're called, but
you put the little shape in this contraption, and then it makes a noise and it tells you what the shape is. So she's been very into that the past couple weeks.
Yeah, and and she loves instruments. I play guitar, and I'm an okay guitar player. I'm not the greatest, but she loves it. She absolutely adores it, and we have a tongue drum, and she loves the tongue drum.
So not a lot of people know what a tongue drum is that aren't musical. Can you explain what a tongue drum is?
So you could get them. They're very inexpensive. They're about this big. They have they're done in the C major scale, which For non-musical people, you've heard of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's that. And
Okay.
each tongue that's cut out of this little drum plays one of those notes.
Yes. Yeah.
And really, even if you're not very musical, no matter what you hit on it, because it's all in the same key, it kind of will sound good. It won't.
Yeah.
It won't
Okay.
hurt your ears.
Yeah. And she loves it. She loves playing with it. So, yeah, we also, even just going on outings, and not everyone has great weather. We live in Southern California. Not everyone has the best weather, so you can't go to the park every day, but we always try to get her outside as much as possible. And again, it's just developing great habits in the very, very beginning with reading aloud. And obviously, if you're watching this, again, you're looking into homeschooling. So you can even establish these routines that, from day one with your kids. So when you actually get into the school part, it's not going to feel like school necessarily. It's going to be part of your everyday routine. And that's kind of what we've been doing with our little one. So anything else you want to add?
Not that I could think of.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching our video, and please like and subscribe. We are going to be coming out with tons more content on homeschooling and what we've been doing with our daughter. And yeah, so we'll see you guys soon. Remember.